What is going on, everyone? It is your boy Petey Weestraw from ThePeopleAreFly, your time machine to the past, the present, and the future. We'll be doing something a little bit different today. Be changing it up a bit and showcasing something that I'm really super into, and that's retro and vintage fashions and styles, particularly as it pertains to Black folks, which I happen to be. So a book that I'm going to be showing you all today is called The Way We Wore Black Style Then by Michael McCollom. Michael McCollom is at least in the fashion scene, he's a pretty well-known photographer. And the book also contains a foreword by Jeffrey Holder. And those in the know, Jeffrey Holder is also a very well-known fashion designer, particularly in the 70s and the 80s. You probably even seen him if you are a Gen Xer like myself. A tall gentleman, bald head, very fashionable. He stood out. You definitely saw him. Anyway, the reason I wanted to do this is because I guess I'll give a bit of a backstory to those of you who are new to the channel, and I guess to the brand itself, The People Are Fly. So The People Are Fly is something that I created a few years back to really showcase the things that I'm passionate about, which are just kind of retro and vintage fashion styles, particularly as it pertains to communities of color. So that's Black folks, that's Hispanics, that's Asians, that's whatever you want to define it as. I'm not going to necessarily get into the politics of it, but we have I have a kind of a focus on that. But I'm also very, very Gen X, so it's also kind of The People Are Flies also speaks to a lot of Gen X nostalgia. I was born in 1978. I grew up in the 80s. I was the 80s baby and a 90s kid. So I kind of came to age in the 90s, both a child, a teenager, and an adult in the 90s. So I had a very unique perspective. And I think a lot of people my age group have that very unique perspective where, we were born in the 70s, we old heads. I don't know if that's UNC status or OG status. I was actually just debating that with a friend a few days ago. But we also, have that really unique perspective of growing up in the 80s and seeing everything that happened then, and then coming to age in the 90s, where just it seemed like the world was at its apex and then everything just changed. But anyway, here we are now. I'm going to show you some specific sections of this book. I'm not going to obviously go through the entire book, but there was some things that caught my eye. And so the focus of today's video is going to be on hairstyles, particularly Black hairstyles, because obviously this is called Black Style Then. So it's going to be about hairstyles. And the reason I wanted to focus on this is because, I'm as I'm getting older, my hair is thinning, and it just made me nostalgic when I was going through this, and I was thinking about like all the hairstyles that I had coming of age. And a lot of my peers had, from box fades to braids to dreads to all that stuff. So we're gonna check out some of these more unique hairstyles that people wore, particularly in the 80s and the 90s. I think even some 70s in here. And then kind of just give you a sense of what's going to be coming next on the channel, because I do want to start doing different things. And I want to give you all kind of a preview of what those things are going to be. But before we do that, let's dive into the video. So, The Way We Wore Black Style Then by Michael McCollom, foreword by Jeffrey Holder. I'm not going to read the foreword. I'm just going to get straight into the book. And the very first image that I want to show you all is one that immediately jumped out at me because it reminded me of a specific period in my life. So this is the author. His name is, again, Michael McCollom. And he, I'm not sure how old he was in this. Probably, I would assume probably in his early 20s. This is 1986 in New York. So This is, I mean, this didn't really have a name, this hairstyle, but you could just call it the Milli Vanilli. I don't even think he called it the Milli Vanilli, but he talked about how he had this hairstyle years before Milli Vanilli popped on the scene. And it kind of almost reminds me of like Vernon Reid from The Living Color a little bit too. So obviously this wasn't a really popular hairstyle in the black community, but it was a hairstyle. I definitely saw dudes with this hairstyle, and particularly in this time, like between like 1984 and 1986, kind of reminds me of like some Chico DeBarge. You know what I mean? Like we in that era right now. I like it. I would honestly, if somebody brought this back, I couldn't even be mad at them. I really could not, because this is kind of fly. It's like a mix of, I don't know, curls. Like it's like a perm with like curls and almost even some like dreads thrown in there too. It's not a Jerry curl. Jerry curls were way more wet. And actually Jerry curls, this is 1986. Jerry curls really started to grow in popularity probably a little bit after this. And I actually remember people rocking Jerry curls in the early 90s, because I remember there was one summer that I was staying at my parents' family friend's house, and when I think back at it, and I'm pretty sure that I was either a junior or a senior in high school. So I was like, graduating high school. I was like kind of on my way to graduating high school. So this had to be, the early to mid 90s. And she had a friend, whatever you want to call him. And I remember this dude was rocking a Jerry curl, and it wasn't unusual. I remember he was kind of corny, but it wasn't unusual at the time to see somebody with a Jerry curl. So my point is that, Jerry curl was still doing his thing even up until the mid 90s. But this particular hairstyle, I think it didn't really have, it wasn't popular, but I did see dudes with it. Now this next one, I have never seen anyone with it. Actually, you know what? I have in like the 60s. But the funny thing is that if you look down here, this is actually 1990 in New York. So just give you, again, just a bit of some backstory to the book. And I'll leave a link to the book in the description. I'm fairly certain you can get it on Amazon. If you can get your hands on it, I highly encourage you to, get it for yourself or to gift it to somebody who you think might be really into this. This is going to be the first of a few videos that I'm going to show on this book. There's a lot more images that I want to show you all that I just think are really fly. So I highly encourage you to get the book. But anyway, this hairstyle is unique. It's kind of like a side cowlick. Obviously, it's straightened. His hair is straightened and then kind of shaved on the side. So it's like a fade. It's like a fade cowlick. I don't even know, but it's interesting. It kind of reminds me of a hairstyle from the 60s that I've seen, where the brothers used to kind of get the process, the conch, and they would get their hair straightened. Not the 30s, not that far back. I have seen, a lot of images like that with brothers in the 30s with their, they get the conch. This reminds me of something a little bit different from like the 60s. This is a very 60s style to me. I dig it. If I saw somebody rocking this, I would have to give them props just because of the audacity just to even rock this. But yeah, this is interesting. So the next picture that I want to show you all, I don't want to show the other pictures before I get there. Whoops. I'm gonna probably be messing some of this up. So the next one I want to show you all is this one right here. You see, I have a bookmark, so I can kind of easily access them. Now this right here is kind of a 1930s hairstyle. Now this is in the 70s. Again, this is Michael McCollom. He's like showcasing a lot of his contemporaries. And a lot of his contemporaries were like fashion designers. They were artists, they were musicians, models. And this hairstyle right here is definitely very reminiscent of the 30s. And I think he was actually even going for that look, either like the 30s or the 40s. Now, I was talking about this with my girl a few months ago, and we were kind of remarking about how like every generation seems to kind of herald back 30 years, right? So like now the big thing is like the 90s, because I guess 30 years ago was the 90s. And when I was growing up in the 80s, 30 years prior to that was the 50s. So in the 80s, you got a lot of like 50s nostalgia. And if you even listen to the music, you would see a lot of like that kind of flavor in the style, like that kind of 1950 style. Now in the 70s, they were, it was like they were heralding back to the 40s. So if you look at a lot of the movies from the 1970s, you will see a lot of this like 1940s nostalgia. Particularly like one good example of that is this movie that I love, JD's Revenge with Glenn Thurman. It's all about a ghost. I don't want to get into the plot, but basically they showcase a lot of like 1940s fashion. You could check my channel. I think I might have it on there as a full movie, but definitely check it out. It's if you haven't seen it, it's the blaxploitation classic, and yeah, there's a lot of quotables. But anyway, that I think is the look that this brother is going for right here, kind of this 1940s look with the middle part. The hair is not combed. It is just kind of straightened with the brush. It's not combed, but it brushed hard. You know what I mean? With that part down the middle. I would actually rock this personally, because if you see my hair now, I have a part on the side. It kind of is like a little old school 1930s look. I would do this. I would actually rock that. I'm not gonna lie. So the next style right here, check my man out. Now this is something that I remember. This is, what is this, 1980 in New York. Courtney Perry, visual director, wearing it looks like a Chanel jacket. That actually is fresh as hell. That whole look is fresh. And this is, that was a while ago. 1980. I was 2 years old. I would absolutely rock this now. The hairstyle, probably not. That's kind of like just a fade, like a high top fade. Nothing too special. We were rocking this all the time in the 90s. But what I think is interesting in this picture, this is 1980. This is like literally the 70s are still happening. This brother is innovative as hell. He is innovative. I was not seeing a lot of dudes rocking fades, like box fades in 1980. You just did not see that. At least I didn't. Then again, I was 2 years old. I wasn't seeing too much, but I just, even looking back on pictures, I did not, like, none of my siblings had a box fade. None of them did. Or it's just like a box. Well, it's kind of like because it's a box fade. They just did not have it. All right. So next section. Bear with me here because I've got it kind of partitioned off. Now we're actually getting into the section of the book where they talk about hair. Hair has always been important, says Diana Ross. And I believe her, because Diana Ross has some hair. Woman got some good hair. Or a lot of hair. I don't want to say good hair. She got a lot. So, when I first saw this, I thought it was Phyllis Hyman, but this is, what is her name? Seal Johnson, National Sales Manager. Or maybe, no. I'm sorry. That's the opposite page. This is Patricia Jacobs, journalist and artist. She looks very familiar, but I'm not exactly sure where I've seen her before. But anyway, this is 1988. 88 was a really good year. I remember I was living in Chicago up until about 1988, and then we moved to a town adjacent to Chicago called Evanston, Illinois. That's where Northwestern University is. And, it was just an interesting period in my life. So 88 was a good year. It was coming of age. This hairstyle, I saw a lot of women in the 80s rocking this. I absolutely love when women rock like 80s and 70s hairstyle. If I saw a woman rocking this right now, like today, you're a good looking lady. You are a very fine lady. I just love that kind of poofy, just out there, look. And in the 80s, it was going on in spades. There was just something about the 80s, man. Like the women were just, I have to say. Yeah, I know, it's just a kid, but still. Brother got memories. So this is Seal. She looks familiar too, but I don't. I mean, she's a national sales manager. I don't know how the hell I would know her. But this is apparently in Milan, Italy. This is not, so there was women, I did remember seeing women with this type of hairstyle. This is a little bit more punky. When I think about this type of hairstyle, I immediately think of Anita Baker. This is different than the Anita Baker, and I actually call it the Anita Baker because she was, to me, the first one who ever rocked it and really rocked it. But it's kind of close. This is definitely a bit more punk rock to me. She looks like she's in Milan. She's probably in fashion or something. Still dope though. I like it. But I love that Anita Baker look. I just think that's so amazing. So this is just, there's nothing super groundbreaking about this hairstyle. But this was just, to me, like the Every Brother hairstyle. This is 1966 in New York City. So, a lot of brothers were looking like this in the 60s, particularly the mid 60s. This is before the Black Power movement. So, we were still trying to look very clean cut, kind of a whole Motown look. This is before we went to the psychedelic shack, or where James Brown told us we were black and proud. So brothers were looking a little square, but I still like it. It's respectable. That suit that my man is rocking is fresh. I can already tell. I know them pants are looking fresh too. So this is Charles D. Snuggs. He's a makeup artist from New York City. I like his name, Snuggs. This is September 1967. Michael Henry Adams. He is a historian. I like this look right here too. He's got the little ascot. I'm going to start bringing these back. I think it's time to start bringing ascots back. I don't care what anybody says. They are fresh. They are fly. And we need to start bringing them back. And I'm going to be the pioneer. Well, I'm going to be a pioneer because it's already been done before, but I'm going to start doing it. So again, nothing really too groundbreaking about this hairstyle, just kind of everyman hairstyle. What I do think is really fascinating, although it shouldn't be, is that for the most part, the hairstyles for black men have not changed radically in the last, I want to say but they haven't changed radically since the 40s and 50s. After World War II, I feel like we kind of settled on some pretty specific hairstyles. Have been going that route ever since. Before that, people getting conked. You can get into the politics of it, but we were getting conked, we were getting processes, we were getting all kind of wild stuff, and then, I think slowly we started to embrace more of our natural hair and to play around with more natural hairstyles. And so you see, in the 60s and the 50s, we kind of settled on these specific types of hairstyles, which I think are really dope. So the next picture this is Veronica Jones. She is a boutique owner in 1968 New York. And apparently she's wearing a Rudy Geinreich dress. Absolutely beautiful. To me, that black folks in the 60s and the 70s, man, come on. So again, this hairstyle is very common. This is like nothing. This is like, you know, some Mary Tyler Moore type stuff. Very common. Can't really say too much about it. But what's interesting, it's a very interesting juxtaposition, 1968. And not, you know, obviously this is, again, start of the civil rights movement. Not the start, but it was kind of the height of the civil rights movement, Black Power movement. This is her the next year. In 1969. The Mary Tyler Moore is gone. And then we got the afro. Gotta love the fro. Got to love the fro. Sorry, I'm trying to get the light glare off of there. What a difference a year makes. So, speaking more about the fros, look at those. Look at those fros. Now, I see the afro come back here and there. It shouldn't be as like groundbreaking as it is today. Like when you see a person with afro, you're like, wow, you know, my man rocking a fro. This should be common. God damn it, it should be common. We need to bring them back. We need to bring them back. This guy looks like somebody. I cannot quite put my finger on it. It's somebody like famous now. Like, oh my God, it's bugging the crap out of me. He kind of looks like Kenan Thompson a little bit. Just a little. We all have duplicates out there. So this is all in the 70s, which I think is really interesting, is that you see, you know, the fro really start to take prominence in the late 60s. And it was pretty big, I want to say, the entirety of the 1970s. The entirety. I was, you know, again, my earliest memories, I still remember even in like, you know, the early 80s, people were still rocking fros. People were still rocking fros. So the fro, you know, really had its longevity. I think out of all the black hairstyles that kind of come and gone, the fro and maybe the fade have been some of the more longer lasting trends. Thank God the Jerry curl died out when it did. So this is 1976. You can see the fro again. That outfit is absolutely just stellar. I mean, look at that. The boots, the dress, the top, the fro. Just gorgeous. That is Lana Turner. I don't think that's the Lana Turner now. Look at maybe a different Lana Turner. This is a licensed real estate salesperson. Okay, Vi Higginson. She was a radio personality in New York City. Now, bell bottoms. My man back there is jacked. Look at that. That's when we were eating clean, boy. Oh, I just noticed she's giving like a fist bump to somebody. That's good. So, bell bottoms. Again, you know, they come and go. I think 70s is making another comeback. I don't know what group that would be, Gen Z or whatever the heck they're called nowadays. You know, they're starting to fetishize some of the stuff that their parents were on. The funny thing is like the stuff that their parents were on was stuff that the parents were fetishizing when they were like their same age, you know, because again, when I was coming of age, like the 60s and the 70s were the it thing, you know what I mean? And it's funny how it kind of comes back around. But that is the last picture of this particular chapter. Again, I'm going to showcase a lot more of these. I had a lot of fun doing this, to be honest with you. And this is the very first video that I've done in this series. So if you enjoy this, highly encourage you to leave a comment, to like, to subscribe, all that stuff that, the content creators throw out at the end of the video. I don't have to rehash it. You already know it. You know what I'm going to say. But the reason I'm saying it is because if you like it, YouTube will show it to you, and then I can make more videos like it. So it's like a win-win situation. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Again, this is your boy Petey Weedstraw from The People Are Fly, your time machine to the past, the present, and the future. I will check in with y'all later.